This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connected to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Monday, August 24, and this is the Barbados Today evening update. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. A senior government official believes he has a solution that can reduce the chances of fishing boats being used to traffic illegal guns and drugs. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food, Fisheries and Water Resource Management, S. Wolf Reed, is urging the Frundle-Stewart administration to integrate the fishing sector as a formal part of the main economy. Reed presented the proposal while addressing the opening of a two-day regional validation workshop of the fisheries component of the EU-funded Sanitary and Phytosanitary Measures project.
Furthermore, the formalization of all activities in this industry, especially at the level of harvesting, may very well work to reduce the chances of vessels at the individual level being registered as fishing boats and then being used for some other activity other than fishing. For example, the movement of illegal drugs and firearms across territorial borders. Notwithstanding the dire need for there to be a move to integrate all aspects of the fishing industry fully into the formal economic sector, sustainable growth in this important sector and the ability for governments in the region to fully and effectively tap into the significant potential benefits associated with it. For example, foreign exchange generation requires that there be a regional approach to the sector by way of joint efforts among stakeholders and member states to drive the sector forward.
But in his closing remarks, Barbados' Chief Fisheries Officer Stephen Willoughby threw cold water on any possible success in implementing the recommendations of the consultants.
Based on previous practices, I will predict that these recommendations will become resident dust collectors on someone's shelf. In a few years, these recommendations will be forgotten, and someone will come along and be paid sums of money to reinvent the wheel. In my many years of fisheries in the region, I have seen this cycle of consultant, report, meeting, recommendations of collectors repeated and repeated and repeated. The list is long. It stretches back from the seafront days, at the time when many of you sitting around the table were not born.
Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite insists crime in Barbados is on the decrease. The AG explained the numbers to supporters at the 60th annual conference of the ruling Democratic Labour Party yesterday. He said instead of an increase in the real numbers of criminal incidents, the island is seeing a rise in gun-related crime.
When I look at what has happened crime-wise in Barbados between 2008 and 2015, there has in fact not been any stark increase in crime over that period of time. In fact, one just needs to look back at 2014 and one would have seen a 15% decline in crime from the year before. There's been no escalation in crime between 2008 and today. The challenges that we have today and why we are also concerned is because of the nature of the crime that we are seeing, and in particular, the gun-related crime.
The 4 officers who were injured in yesterday's accident in St. James have been released from hospital. Barbados Today has been informed that Police Constable Devon Shaban and his 3 colleagues who complained of pains about the body are now on the mend following a two-vehicle accident. However, the status of the civilian, a 43-year-old driver from St. James, is unknown at this time. Investigations continue into the accident, which occurred around 5 minutes past 5 in Fitz Village yesterday. Archdeacon of Barbados, Eric Lynch, wants nationals to get involved in the decision-making of the country. Addressing parish ambassadors and members of the Barbados Community Independence Celebrations Secretariat's annual service at the St. James Parish Church, the Archdeacon said too many Barbadians are hesitant in making their opinions known on national issues. He adds that too many people believe that they need to be part of a political party to have a say.
We recognize that we're still at that stage of our development where true independence of thought and action are still somewhere in the distance, and that Barbadians are still, for many, afraid to say what is on their minds. And the popularity of calling programs, for example, reflect the fact that few persons still use this avenue, that many Barbadians are still afraid to say what they feel and how they think Barbados should be developed. And it seems that we need, perhaps, if we want to really have an impact, to join a particular political party.
LIAT reinstates all flights from Barbados to Dominica and Antigua as what was Hurricane Danny dissipated into a low-pressure system earlier today. The flights to St. Kitts and St. Martin and Totola are also now back on schedule. The cancellation saw as many as 39 flights being cancelled across the region, affecting hundreds of travelers. In sports, Barbados' senior squash team delivered a phenomenal performance to retain the team title at the just concluded Maple Caribbean Squash Championships held in the Cayman Islands. The team returned home last night with gold in the veterans, silver in the women's team competition, and fourth in the men's. Three-time Caribbean Queen Karen Mickens won Barbados' lone individual gold at the championships when she defeated Bermuda-based Canadian Rumaretta 3-1 in the best-of-5 sets showdown to repeat as champion from 2014.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Got it in my hand, got it in my hand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Got to understand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Ain't nothing like a core bank spare. None of them others just can't compare. You just got to love that taste. It's the world-class thing this land makes. Whether I'm cruising or at a bar, whether I'm at home, my bank spare is never far. For this blessing, got to give God thanks. My Barbados, my bank.
To our regional neighbors now, non-Bahamian students will need to comply with all new immigration laws before they are allowed to attend any of the country's schools. Word of this from Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald as the government enforces measures put in place to crack down on illegal immigrants in the country. He says when the new academic year begins on August 31, students will be required to have a student's permit or a passport with the residency stamp.
Every student must produce some sort of certification that they have the authority to be in the country. The Ministry of Immigration, Department of Immigration is facilitating that. We also stated those kids who, for whatever reason, through immigration's processing, or unable to have the necessary paperwork in place by September, would have until the 31st of December to cure whatever that is, and so they will be registered.
On the international scene, Malaysian police are reporting that another mass grave has been found along the country's border with Thailand, containing the bodies of 24 people. More in this CNN report.
The camp took shape from a distance. Such was its size, it wasn't easy to hide. A bamboo jail that stretched across a mountain clearing. But further details were hard to come by. We've been given a few seconds to walk through the camp, but I think that's the wrong name for this place. It's more like a village or a prison complex. There are cells rung with barbed wire and watchtowers and food and water storage facilities. There's even a cage where people were kept, I presume, because they tried to escape. Clearly, it was a place of real cruelty, where hundreds were held for the purposes of extortion.
And that's news and sports. For more, log on to www.barbadostoday.tv. Subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on 9 TV and the Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn, and do have a great evening, and we'll see you again first thing tomorrow morning.